Breaking news! Pleistocene Park has fallen apart. The park was declared bankrupt after it was revealed that all of the animals have escaped. Sightings of the prehistoric animals are being reported all over the Northern Hemisphere. If you see any of these species, do not approach, as they are extremely dangerous. The CEO is yet to make a statement on the matter. Most recently, a pride of cave lions have been spotted at a local mine, and the workers have gone missing.
Oh, let's take a shortcut, lads. We'll go through the mines.
The mines? Are you mad? Have you not heard the rumours? Rumours? What rumours?
You fear to go into those mines. The miners delve too greedily and too deep. You know what they awoken in the darkness. Shadow and flame.
Come on, John, the weather's awful. Tim's got a blister on his foot. Let's just take a shortcut through the mines.
Let the cameraman decide.
We will go through the mines.
So be it.
See? How much better's this, lads? We're out the snow. We're out the... Oh my God. What the... This is no mine. It's a tomb. We should never have come here.
Now get out of here! Get out!
Quick! Turn around! Go the other way!
What is it? What's wrong?
What is it? They have a cave lion. I think it might have gone. Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be building a mine, but not just any ordinary mine. No, this is a mine that has been taken over by prehistoric beasts. What was once full of hard-working miners is now home for a pride of cave lions. You may have seen it on the news that Pleistocene Park is sadly no more, and the animals have managed to escape due to poor management of the park. And now the animals are roaming and running riot across the northern hemisphere of the planet. The numbers are growing and the sightings are becoming more and more common. And unfortunately for this mine, it has had to be closed down due to the amount of attacks that have happened here. It's already a dangerous job working in a mine, but when you run the risk of bumping into a cave lion while at work, well, you certainly don't want that now, do you? So this is a new chapter for Pleistocene Park, and we're going to be building lots of different habitats for all of the Ice Age creatures that have managed to escape. The theme we're going for is an Ice Age apocalypse, where the animals have taken over an area that was once inhabited by humans. So, if you've got any ideas for abandoned places or abandoned buildings that would suit any of the Ice Age creatures in this game, let us know in the comments down below. So why have we chosen a mine for our first habitat? Well, I think this is the perfect environment for a cave lion, because these animals spent a lot of time in caves, hence their name, the cave lions. There have been many skeletons and fossils that have been found of these creatures in caves, so we know that they spent a lot of time living in cave systems, probably to get away from that cold Ice Age weather. So I think this mine will make a perfect home for these animals, because this map is located in Canada, and Canada can get pretty darn cold, especially in the winter. And I must say, what a beautiful map this is. It's nice to actually have a map with a little bit of snow in it. In the background you can see some mountains with some snow on them, and also a bit of sprinkling of snow throughout the map. It is nice to have that. And also we get to see the Northern Lights in this map, which is absolutely fantastic. Wonderful attention to detail. In fact, I'll show you them at the end of the video. We'll come back at night time at the mine to see the Northern Lights. So far you can see we've built a trackway and the mine entrance, and what I want to do is make this trackway go round in a big loop. So the idea is that the carts will go through the mine entrance, the miners will fill up the carts with coal. Once the carts are full of coal, they'll be sent back down and then emptied, and all this coal will be put into big warehouses where the coal will be stored. And then once that cart has been emptied, it will be sent back up on this track to be filled up with coal once again. And the cycle continues all day, the workers working their socks off until they're interrupted by this huge pride of cave lions. It's not really what you need, is it? I mean, talk about a bad day at work. But how many cave lions are we going to have in this? I was going to say enclosure then, but this is not an enclosure, this is a mine. So how many are we going to have taking over this mine? Well, I was looking at how many lions you get in a pride on average. So on average, prides consist around 15 lions, 15 individuals, which is quite a lot. But then you can get some large prides reaching up to 30 individuals. 30 lions, imagine that, flipping heck. But there have been larger prides recorded. These prides are called super prides because they're so big. There was one I found that was 43 individuals, and then another that was 62. Imagine that. I mean, one lion is bad enough, but 62 lions, I mean, you really don't stand a chance, do you? You're doomed if you come across them in the savannah. God help you. But yes, I was wondering how many individuals we should have in this pride, but I don't think we should go for 43 or 62 because I think that's just too many. And these animals haven't been escaped for long. They haven't been out at the park for long, so I don't think they'll be as well established as a lion pride, you know, that have been living in Africa for God knows how long. So I think we'll go for an average number of 15. I think 15 is a decent amount to have in this mine. I think it's big enough for 15 individuals. I can imagine them going out and hunting. There's plenty of big game for them to eat in Canada. You've got moose, wild boar and elk, things like that. And now that Pleistocene Park has fallen apart, cave lions are not the only animals that have escaped and managed to establish themselves in the modern world. We have woolly mammoths, Coelodonta, and of course the Elasmotherium. So there is plenty of food to go round, so these cats should be able to thrive here. Oh, actually, I nearly forgot. There will be some competition though, so maybe there won't be enough food to go round. Of course, the saber-toothed cats, the Smilodon, they've also escaped, and they will be competing with the cave lions for food. And then of course you've got modern predators as well. There are lots of predators in Canada and North America. You've got grizzly bears, black bears, and wolves as well. And who knows, maybe in the future we'll see some more animals coming from Prehistoric Kingdom. They're bringing out a lot at the moment, but maybe we'll see some dire wolves in the future, or maybe the short-faced bear. I think they would suit this environment very, very well. So yes, plenty of animals that are roaming around, causing havoc in the northern hemisphere of the planet. Where will this take us? We'll have to see. But as you can see, I am building a bridge now. This is where the cart can get across this river here. You can see there's a lovely waterfall in the background there that was already built into this map. I didn't have to build my own. I thought, oh, that looks too good. I'm going to start building over there. So here you can see I'm just putting in some support beams to make sure that bridge is nice and sturdy. But of course, this now has all been abandoned. So, give it some time. It might not be so sturdy. As nature starts to reclaim this land, things are going to start to fall apart. And it's already happening. People have abandoned this mine because they've been attacked. It's only a matter of time before these animals start to wander into other, more populated areas. What kind of impact will these animals have on ecosystems and on humanity? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think would happen if we were to actually bring these animals back and release them into the wild? Some people think it's a great idea. Some people are quite worried about it and think it might have devastating effects on the environment and the animals that are living today. Like Dr. Grant says, dinosaurs and man, two species that have been separated by millions of years, and now they're suddenly thrown back into the mix together. How can we possibly have any idea of what to expect? Well, who knows what is going to happen and what would actually happen. It's quite an interesting thing to think about. Imagine animals have been used to the animals that they're with today, and then all of a sudden these giant woolly elephants are roaming around the forest. There have been many instances where humans have brought over an animal for a certain reason. For instance, cane toads were brought over to Australia to try and basically use them for pest control. There were these little beetles or bugs. I can't remember what type of bug it was. Some bug was eating sugarcane in the fields, and it was having devastating effects on the crops. So what they decided to do was bring over this toad, and thought, this toad will eat the bugs and keep their population under control. But it didn't work. First of all, the toads couldn't even reach the bugs because the sugarcane is so high. The bugs were on top here eating the sugarcane, and the toads couldn't reach them, so they couldn't do their job in the first place. And secondly, they are poisonous. They have poisonous glands on the sides of their cheeks, and if you squeeze these, all this pus comes out, and it's not pretty, but it's poisonous. And so many animals eat these toads, and because they haven't had time to evolve, this animal's just been thrown in here. They're not used to these animals, and they've started eating them and becoming poisoned. And it's having really bad effects on the ecosystem in Australia. Not good at all. Here you can see I'm just building a big chimney. This is where some of the coal is going to be burnt to power the workforce of this mine. It'll be used to move the carts, which I'm just about to build now, and also to
just run the whole factory, run the warehouses and everything, make sure that everything is running well. So that's what that's for. And then here I'm just going to build one of the carts, the mine carts, which is going to be used to transport the coal from the mountain down to the warehouse to be stored. So this needs to be nice and sturdy and strong, and I was going for, you can see here I'm turning the sides out like a classic mine cart, and this just turned out to be really difficult to do, and it just didn't look right. So I started off doing it this way, and then I just decided to go for a classic box shape, just to, you know, it does the job and it's a lot easier to build. So I'm putting metal on the sides and on the tops to make it look like it's welded together, a nice sturdy frame, so the wood doesn't fall apart. This thing has got to carry tons of coal down from the mountain, so it's got to be built very, it's got to be strong to cope with this. So yeah, there's our little mine cart. And what was I talking about before this? Invasive species. So I gave the cane toad as an example, but another example I was going to tell you was about pythons. Pythons that were somebody's pet, and then it's grown too big and they thought, oh my goodness, I can't take care of this, and they've released them into the wild in Florida. And in Florida they're just exploding. The populations are out of control. I can see I'm putting the wheels on now. But yes, the populations are going out of control, and because this is the perfect habitat for a python, you know, it's hot, humid, plenty of prey, they are starting to kill the alligators over there. And yes, this is not having good consequences on the ecosystem in Florida. So there's two examples for you. When you just throw an animal somewhere that it's you know, shouldn't really be, it can have some really big issues. So I don't know, if we were to release mammoths and things like that, goodness knows what it would do if we were to do that. Just making sure the wheels are nice and secure there. And I was putting in a little valve there. That's just to, if you turn that valve, that will switch the tracks so that the cart can go off. You can see that I've just built a section where the track goes nowhere. That's in case one of the carts is damaged or broken. So one of the workers will turn the valve, the cart can go off here, and then they can repair it if there's any damage, or, you know, fix whatever needs to be fixed, and then they can switch it back onto the track, turn the valve, and then it can go back up the mountain, collect all the coal, which you can see I'm putting in there now, just as some rocks, but I've changed the colour of the rocks to be black so it looks like coal. And here we're just putting in a bit of an outdoor section with a bit of this is where things can be stored, old carts and equipment and you know, storage things that the workers can use. And inside this section is where the coal will be taken out. You can see we've got wheelbarrows and some spades for shoveling that coal to be stored in the warehouse. Lovely. So it's coming on rather nicely now, this build. Something a little bit different this. I'm not used to building man-made things like this. Usually it's an enclosure, or, you know, like a forest or something like that. So it's a nice little change, this. And by the way, if you can hear some banging or clanging while I'm making this video, that is not my next door neighbour doing work on his house. That is, in fact, the ghosts of the mine. The ghosts of the workers that were killed by these cave lions. So if you can hear anything, that is the faint sound of the workers that once worked in this mine. So I do apologise if you can hear that. Here we're going to put on a nice big door, a big beautiful door at the back of this warehouse, and this is where the coal can be taken out. So it gets the workers will get wheelbarrows and take it out of this building here, and then they'll take it to the building where the big chimney is at the moment. We're going to put another building there, and here we're just going to put a massive pile of coal. I don't know if you've seen coal piles near power stations. They've literally got mountains of the stuff. So I'm just putting a big pile of coal here. Then a fence, in case the crew are so concentrating on their work they don't realise there's a big steep hill there and fall off it into the river. So we've got to make sure that there's a railing to keep them safe. And we'll dot a few trees about. We've got some new plants on this biome now as well. Some new trees and some new colourful bushes, which look really, really nice. Very beautiful designs. It's nice to have a bit more variety as well. Yeah, this is the warehouse where the coal is going to be stored and also burnt in this massive chimney to basically power up all the tools and equipment that the miners will be using while they're here at work. So we're going to use a brick wall for this one, just to give a bit of variety. I do love the Stone Age, the new Stone Age buildings and the designs and all the different little decorations that we have. There's even a Stonehenge. It all looks great. Some new stuff for us to decorate our parks with and get creative and build some fantastic designs. So yeah, it's really good stuff, this new update. But let us take a look at the cave lion. Let's get up some facts about this animal. Okay, so the first thing you need to know about this animal is that it's big. It's very big, it's enormous. They absolutely dwarf modern day lions today. Let's take a look, let's compare them both. So a modern day lion, the length of a modern day lion is 2.1 meters long. Now a cave lion is 3.5 meters long, so 1.5 meters longer. When we look at height, a modern day lion is about 4 feet tall, and a cave lion is 5 feet tall, so a foot taller. So 1.5 meters longer and a foot taller, and a lot more stockier and much more muscular. Now, when we look at weight, this is one of the hardest things to work out with extinct animals. Whenever you're looking at weight, it varies so much, so it's so hard to get this right. There are estimates that are really, really high, and then, you know, the range is just so different. But we can weigh modern day lions, so we know this is correct. That is 190 kilograms for a fully grown male lion. Now, when we look at a cave lion, the smallest estimates are around 235 kilograms. So we're talking close to 1/4 of a ton here. Now, some are ranging about 300 kilograms, some even go to 400, and I even found some, the highest estimates, which are around 500, over 500 kilograms, which is half a ton. So it's hard to know. It was a much more stockier animal. It's more like, when you look at it, it's like almost like a bear mixed with a lion. Its front forearms are very, very muscular and very broad and thick bones. So this is a very powerful animal. Yeah, you certainly won't want to mess with it. And let's take a look. In fact, let's compare the bite force of this lion with a modern day lion. So modern day lions, 900 pounds per square inch. Now the cave lion is more than double that, 1,800 pounds per square inch. That is remarkable. That is bone crushing. That can crunch through bone. So this animal, I mean, when you think about what it was hunting, mammoths and Elasmotherium, woolly rhino, things like that, it had to have this powerful bite. And you certainly wouldn't want to get attacked by one of these animals. And they hunt in prides as well. Flipping heck. Let's compare the speeds. So a modern day lion can run at a top speed of 50 miles per hour. Whew, you're definitely not going to outrun that. Now, the cave lion is slightly slower, 30 miles per hour. But when you think about it, it's a much more bulky and heavier animal. So this animal, 30 miles an hour is pretty fast. It can outrun a human. But I would think that this creature would probably try and stalk its prey and ambush its prey rather than run it down. And it would try and close the gap between its prey and itself, and then pounce and use its muscle and its bone crunching bite to kill its prey. But wow, that is very, very impressive. Now, I was looking, I saw some information that said that the cave lion was the largest cat to ever exist. Some scientists consider it the largest cat to ever exist, but some people believe that the Smilodon is bigger. So I was trying to find out, and it's very hard to find this because some information is saying that the Smilodon is bigger, some is saying that the cave lion is bigger. So I'm not entirely sure. With the weight of a Smilodon, it's around 400, some are saying 300, but the maximum was about 470 kilograms, which is close to half a ton. So they're both very similar. If one's bigger, it's only slightly. It's not like it's a massive difference here. We're looking at two animals that are both very, very big, and if one is bigger than the other, it's only by, well, it's a lot for us, but for such big animals, it's not really a lot. A few kilograms more, or a few 10 kilograms more, or whatever. It's not really that much of a big difference. But this is a huge, huge lion, a lot bigger than the biggest cat on Earth today, which is the Siberian tiger. It isn't bigger than a liger, but ligers have been, this is something that you wouldn't really see in the wild unless the two mixed. It's mainly, we see this in captivity, where you've got a tiger and a lion, and put them together so that they breed and they create a liger. And ligers are very, very big. If a cat got that big, flipping heck, it'd probably be able to take down a fully grown mammoth with ease. But yeah, this cat is huge, and it evolved from way back from lions. Their cousins were in Africa, and they spread into Europe. And we see that just like elephants and as they evolved into mammoths and stuff like that, and they travelled across the globe by ice and land bridges, they managed to take over Europe and Asia, and then they crossed land bridges over to North America and spread around there. So they conquered the whole northern hemisphere of the planet, a bit like what they're doing now, because they've escaped from Pleistocene Park. So there is a little bit of information about the cave lion. Very interesting animal. Imagine if these animals didn't go extinct. Like we've got lions roaming around Africa now. Imagine if they were still roaming across North America and Europe. Imagine that. It would be crazy. Imagine bumping into one of these animals. Wow, it would be, yes, you certainly wouldn't want to run to one of these. But yeah, you can see here now, I am building the inside of the mine.
This is where the cave lions will spend the majority of their time. And you can see we've also got some new decorations for our cave environments. You can see there, put some stalagmites, or stalagmites, which one is it now? I can't remember the right way around. Let me just check which one it is. So stalactites grow from the cave ceiling, whereas stalagmites grow from the cave floor. And basically what these are made up of is limescale. As water drips through the rock, it has a limescale in the water, and it leaves deposits of this limescale on the ceiling, and as it drips onto the floor it leaves a bit there as well. And what happens is over thousands of years, these stalagmites grow and grow and grow, and eventually sometimes they can actually meet together and form a massive pillar in the cave, almost like the cave is making its own pillar to support itself. But they really are very cool, and I do like these new decorations that they've given us with the rocks. It really does look very, very nice when we put these in our caves. It makes them look a bit more realistic, because when you walk into a cave, you're going to find plenty of these beautiful stalagmites. And you can see that I'm just putting the lions in to try and get an idea of how big we need to make this cave. What I'm going to do is, rather than make the cave go all the way round, I'm going to make it look like it's collapsed. So you can see there where the track is going into the next section of the cave, I've put loads of boulders and rocks to make it look like it's collapsed, because maybe this could have been an accident at the mine with some dynamite when they were blowing up the next section to mine from, or maybe it's just because it's been poorly managed, and you know, because nobody's here anymore, so the cave is not being maintained and it might have just fell. And you can see here we're putting in plenty of bones, some mammoth tusks there, we even got a mammoth skull. The lions have dragged their prey back here, their victims, to feed on it in the cave. Lovely. And we're going to put some meat in there as well, so they'll eat off that. But I don't want it to look like a tray, so I've just put the tray down a bit so it just looks like some meat. Because this is not an enclosure. Zookeepers are not coming in here to feed the lions. These are wild cave lions now. They've escaped from Pleistocene Park. And here we are building a little, I don't know what you call it really. It's basically what the miners would use to get the coal into the carts. So maybe they'll have bags of coal, attach it to that chain, and then use this big pulley to lift up that bag and then turn it round and then lower it onto the cart. Much easier and more efficient than coming down the mountain with bags of coals on the miners' backs. So they can fill up these, and here we're going to put in some supplies. So this could be full of food, or maybe dynamite, or tools and resources that the miners need. And that's just been left behind here in these barrels and these boxes. And we'll put a cart here that was actually going to get loaded up with coal. That was the last cart before that was going to get filled before this tragedy happened. And here I'm just going to put in a bit of a scaffolding that the miners would use to get up higher, so they can mine from you know, they can get a bit higher up and start mining from the top. Maybe there's more coal up there, so we're going to put in a ladder so they can get up there. And then this little platform for them to get to, and we'll put in some supports as well at the side. Lovely. But yes, the lions will probably be spending a very long time in here, because if they're anything like their cousins, modern lions today are incredibly lazy. Very, very lazy cats. They sleep for a very, very long time.
18 to 20 hours a day. Lions can spend snoozing. Oh, actually, it says here, male lions. Oh, so the males are lazier than the females. The male lions will spend 18 to 20 hours a day snoozing, while females get 15 to 18 hours of shut-eye. So the females, that's still a long time though, 15 to 18 hours. But yes, they are spending a lot of time napping. Wow. I mean, that's a very long time, isn't it, when you think about it? Flipping heck. So, who knows, maybe the cave lions were very similar. Maybe they spent a lot of time snoozing in the cave, only getting up for a drink maybe, or to go out and hunt. And we're just putting on the cave ceiling now, which is a very difficult part, the most hardest part of building a cave. But getting back to the lion's sleeping schedule, when you think about it, what these cats have to do, imagine hunting down something like a wildebeest or a buffalo. In the cave lion's case, things like mammoths and coelodonta. After using all that energy, you'd be absolutely starving and you'd be shattered as well. So I can imagine after they've killed their prey, the first thing they want to do is eat, get the calories in. They've used a huge amount of calories to bring down this enormous animal. And as soon as you've eaten all that food, what do you want to do when you've had a big meal? You want to sleep. So no wonder they're sleeping for such a long time. Their bodies need to recover after that huge workout, tackling such enormous and powerful prey. After all that, I think they deserve a really long nap. So they probably just want to just lie down and just let all that meat that they've just eaten be digested, and to feed all those huge muscles that these large cats have. So yeah, that's probably why. So they're not being lazy, really. I think they've earned their nap. And the cave roof is coming on nicely now. We'll just put a few stalagmites. Is it stalactites? Stalactites, that's the one that's growing from the ceiling. And then we'll put in the stalagmites at the bottom there. Lovely. Marvellous. So this cave is coming on. I think this pride will feel very at home here. Lovely. So the next animal that we need to make a habitat for is the Elasmotherium, to give the cave lions some prey. If they can manage to tackle such an enormous beast, my goodness. When you actually look at the Elasmotherium next to the coelodonta in this game, you really get a sense of size, how big this animal really is. It's absolutely enormous. It's almost as big as a mammoth. It's just huge. It's when you think about it, a coelodonta is about the same size as a modern day rhino, and modern day rhinos, they're big animals. They're really, really big. And when you put the coelodonta next to the Elasmotherium, you think, oh my goodness, like it just dwarfs the coelodonta. It's enormous. And that horn as well, that 3-meter long horn, is just, oh yeah. So these cats are dealing with very, very large and dangerous, powerful prey. So we'll have to make a habitat for the Elasmotherium next. But we will be making habitats for all of the Ice Age animals in this game. As soon as we've done the Elasmotherium, we'll focus on the mammoths, the coelodonta, and also those saber-toothed cats as well. So we've just got to think of different environments that we can put them in. So we've got ourselves a mine here. We'll just have to think about what we're going to put in next. So if you've got any ideas, any themes that would suit any of the animals, please let us know in the comments down below. And here the last thing I'm putting in is the exit of the mine, where the carts would come down full of coal. And all I'm doing here is putting in some boulders So this bit has collapsed as well. Maybe there was another accident with the dynamite. And there we have it. The cave lion habitat is complete. I hope you enjoyed this build. If you did, please leave a like and comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next build, which will be the Elasmotherium. And now I'll leave you with some shots of the cave lions enjoying their new home, with the beautiful northern lights in the background there. Look at that, absolutely marvellous.